Hey guys, Anthony here from XXX RC Garage. I started a video about doing an axle swap on a Gen 8 and putting TRX4 sport axles underneath the Gen 8. And I've done it, but boy, it was a task. And I mean, some of the stuff that I had to learn and do was pretty crazy. There's some lighting on in here. So let me go over what happened on this. Alright, let's flip this thing over. Okay, so what you're looking at right now is the TRX4 axles, and I did end up changing out the drive shafts because the drive shafts on the original Gen 8s, these grub screws, stripped out on all 4 points. I literally had to drill out the other ones, and I haven't done this axle yet, or this axle yet, but these are the Gen 8 axles I had put underneath here. So the TRX4 axles, one of the things I noticed I had to do when I did this is I did have to move the upper links to cause the pitch to be different. And the other thing I did were the shocks used to mount on these little balls. Well, now I mounted them. I had to get me some of the pieces that go inside. Here, let me show you. They go inside there. I had to rob them off of some of these links. Actually, here's one right here, and install it in to the shocks on all 4 points. And I put them here just like I would. They would be mounted on a SCX-10-2 or 10. And so I did that. The only thing I'm noticing is right here, this link does tend to hit this motor mount. So I had to lift the shocks to the 3rd point down to get that right. And the other thing I'm noticing too is if it goes too far, it actually hits the link, I mean the servo arm. So I had to replace this servo, and which I thought was going to make a difference, but it didn't. So I mean, if I go real hard, I guess it's going to hit, but right now that's just the way it is. So let me flip this over. Now the other thing I've noticed too is a gear reduction, and the reason I'm saying that is apparently, you see how big this housing is here. Apparently the diff fills this spot here is pretty big round, where the TRX4 one I believe is a little bit smaller. So the truck doesn't tend to run quite as fast as it did before, but I'm sure it's got a ton more torque. I mean, it doesn't run slow, but it doesn't like pop a wheelie and take off crazy. So I'm going to show you that right now and let you see what how that reacts. I haven't quite bungeed all my wires in, zip tied my wires in yet, because I'm still in a process here. But I'm going to go put the battery and the body on and drive it in the yard here and let you see it. Stand by. Oh, and the other thing I had to do is I did have to reverse my throttle. Apparently, I believe the way these things go on is actually backwards from what the Gen 8 would have been. So I did have to reverse that in my radio. And so here, let me show you how it works. So seems like it's got a ton of torque. There you have it, guys. I'm not 100% disappointed in the outcome, and the only reason is because we're not racing, we're crawling, and when you're crawling you need more torque than you do speed. I mean, sometimes that little quick motion, what a lot of guys call brap, seems like, you know, sometimes you might need that little bit of a jump, but for the most part it's crawling. So altogether, I'm not too unhappy with what my outcome was. I'm going to keep it that way. I mean, I have a couple other Gen 8s here that are stock, and that one's on too. So I'm going to use that and compare back and forth both. It's going to be kind of hard because I'm running the AXE system in the orange one, where I'm running pretty much same stock ratio, even though they're not stock motor and ESC somewhat, but they're brushed. So we'll see. Anyway, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and remember, have fun with RCs.